So on a bicep curl, obviously, I was holding a barbell, standing like this, gripping the barbell and doing some curls. Now here's how I apply the posture and breath elements of movement to the curl. So what I'm doing is, I've got this midline pressure of my humerus, which is this bone, coming in towards me. And you can see that if I'm a bit compressed here, then when I squeeze in, it's like I can stretch these lines a little bit. And see, look. So I can kind of seat back like a row, and look how inflated my pecs are now. So if I do something like a bicep curl and then I breathe, it becomes actually very therapeutic. Instead of it being something like this, it's an opening, and with the pumping and the pressure of the curl, I can inflate my body and stretch out all of these tissues and use the decompressive pressure pushing out of that to restore my body to its natural, inflated, tall, decompressed, strong shape. And after doing a set of curls like that, you find yourself standing beautifully. You're standing so tall, so strong. Look at the way I'm holding my neck. Look at how broad my shoulders are sitting. With that broadness, I can then wrap nicely, and I have this space here. It feels so beautiful. Now this particular one with the bicep curl and the lateral expansion breathing is from MoveMed. He's a weapon, he's got some good stuff. This could equally apply to a press. You simply take the same principle, right? So we're working with posture in the sense that we're being long through the rear crown of the head, long through the back of the body, not compressed like this. We're sitting into ourselves. From that posture, we're breathing some expansion between the kidneys and the heart. We're staying long, and then we're balancing on the feet. We're feeling nice and grounded. So we've got posture, balance, breath, and then we have this sense of connection through the body. So you could work with a bilateral movement, like a kettlebell press, or you could work with a unilateral movement, one-arm kettlebell press. Inflating, gliding, reaching, and you have all these pumps and all these actions happening that really frees up your body as you get strong. Now, if I were to apply that to something like a squat, all I need to know is that I want to load my body. I want to load my spine and my hips and my legs, and I want to build some more structural integrity. So I don't want to be doing this in my squat. I want to be feeling my posture, growing into myself, and then whether it's front loaded, whether it's a back squat, whether it's an overhead squat, I want to keep that integrity. I don't want to be doing all this shit. I don't want to be flaring. I need to have a frame, and that frame has to contain me, and in that containment I can decompress, expand, elongate, and that supports my body structurally from a very deep layer. Because of that deep layer of support, I can then move more rhythmically and access the natural movement of my limbs without having to squeeze everything super tight, because I've got my structure, so I can just let my muscles do what they need to do to help the bones move. It feels so good. Now let's say we're going to work with rotation. Let's say we've got like a cable rotation. It's the same idea. Posture. Posture just means long. It means neutral. It means centered. Because from there you can do whatever you want. You don't have to stay neutral, but you have to know what neutral is. And then if you take this lunge position, you work with a cable, you're spreading, breathing into your low lateral ribs, expanding your midline outward and deep. And then the scaps can travel and the thorax can rotate as the cable's pulling you. And then you can sit into your balance, sit into your feet, drive, rotate around, breathe, fill up. And if you then translate that into any other kind of movement, you're you're like a balloon. And when you twist that balloon, the pressure makes the air either come out, so the pressure builds and then you decompress to keep it neutral, or you hold, and there's this either holding or this active exhale to help you recoil. So when you stretch or you twist like a toy balloon, it wants to recoil fast. So what you're doing is you're creating this balloon inside your trunk that constantly supports you. It can flex, it can bend, but it always wants to come back to center. I can't box for shit, but you can see what's happening, right? Let's say it's baseball. Let's say anything athletic, sprinting, anything requires this pressure management, this posture, this balance. It all comes from the breath, and it manifests in great human movement.